Hello everyone, welcome to this live D&H event. I am Chris Phillips, and today we're going to be talking about the power of Kano and Microsoft in the classroom. Joining us today, first in studio, we have Logan from Kano. Logan, how's it going?
Great, no complaints.
No complaints so far. We'll try to keep that in mind. On the phone, on the line with us, we also have Shaun from Microsoft. Shaun, how's it going?
That's going great. Thanks for having me.
Awesome. Well, to get started, I want to talk about Kano at the top here. So for our customers who aren't aware of what Kano is and what products they sell, can you go into a little bit of detail of what Kano is and what you're here to show us today?
Sure. So thanks for having me on. My name is Logan. I am the Education Marketing Specialist here at Kano. And for us, Kano started in 2013 based off a Raspberry Pi kit on Kickstarter. And really, we kind of launched from that product, iterated on that product with the Computer Kit Complete, Computer Kit Touch, and iterated on it to where we are now. Today, we're here to talk about Kano PC, and specifically Kano PC Education Edition. Now, Kano PC itself is our first for Kano in a couple ways. One, it's our first device without a Raspberry Pi. This is our own PCB. Two, it's our first device made in partnership with Microsoft. And then three, it's also our first device running Windows 10. Previous products, they were Raspberry Pis, so they were based off Raspbian, which is a form of Linux with our own skin on top of, which works incredible in that STEM classroom. But taking the device outside that STEM classroom wasn't really possible because it's Linux. So you couldn't take it to math, to history, to science class, whatever that is. But really what we're here to kind of showcase today is kind of what you see here in front of you. Now, this is Kano PC. I'm going to go ahead and actually take one out of the box for you.
Yeah, and as you're doing that real quick,
sure.
I do want to remind people that we are taking questions. If you have any questions, there's a window on the right-hand side, I believe. Ask as many questions as you want. We'll be answering questions as we go, and at the end, we'll also be dropping some poll questions as we go. So if you see any of those as we come up, again, your feedback is invaluable to us. But with that, you want to demo how easy it is to put one of these together, right?
Sure. So at Kano, we are extremely passionate about hardware. Kids today are told code, software, which is fantastic. They do need to learn that. However, we want them to understand the computer before they even get to that. So no matter what you buy from us, including the Kano PC, everything is going to come taken apart in the box. When the student opens up, they are greeted with the screen and PCB, along with some other items up here. Here in a second, I'm going to show you some of the parts down here and kind of take everything apart for you. But I wanted to first jump into our storybook. So at Kano, all of our products come with a storybook in the box. While the Kano PC is the hardware product itself, personally, I view this as our product because without this, the students and the learners would not be able to build the units themselves.
That's basically like the curriculum for this device, pretty much, right?
Yeah, like a miniature curriculum almost for the building aspect of the device. Not so much the software, but the building aspect. So apologies if you can't see this well on camera, but you're going to go through, and everything is extremely visually, narratively, storyline driven. And it's not only, hey, plug this in, but it's, hey, plug this in, this is how it works, and this is why you're doing it. We want them to understand that device. Even to the extent of, in the storybook, we actually have a magnifying glass in the box. Now, the way that it works and why that it's important is here, whenever I pull the PCB out, you can see the back here. Every circuit on the back here is labeled. It's very small, tiny little black boxes, tiny spelling, tiny words, hence we have the magnifying glass in the box. We want them to understand the device that they're actually building and using. Now I'm going to go ahead and put one of these together for you real quick. This device is fairly simple to put together. Just going to drop this film right behind me.
Make a mess.
Make a mess. So here, once you pull up the keyboard, the back of the keyboard, you can see the parts along with the clear case back. So I'm going to pull this case back out. So it comes with a few parts. It has the screen and the PCB. It has the case back. It has the Kano battery. I'm going to take that, I'm going to plug that in right here and then connect that. Now, obviously, the goal with the students is to follow the storybook and build this and learn all about it and how the connection works with the battery. Of course, in the essence of time today, we're not going to go through the storybook and make you listen to all of that.
We don't want to deprive them of learning about it themselves when they get one.
Exactly. So here is the speaker. Now the speaker is going to be plugged in. Let me show you. The speaker is going to be plugged in right here. And then I'm going to take it and turn it and slot it in. Okay. I'm going to take the case back. I'm going to pop that right on. Apologies if this is a little bit loud for y'all. Here in the box, you can also find the charging brick and charging cable. This device is USB-C charging, so as they say, future-proof is what I've been hearing around the block. Take out this foam.
He's going to trip over this foam when we get done with this.
I know, I'm definitely going to fall.
Shoot.
For sure.
I'm scared.
And then I'm going to take this here, and then we are at the point of what you're seeing here with the device fully running. One thing I do love is we have these screen protectors on here that even from this aspect, we teach the kids about what's going on here. If you can't read it, it says, you can't see them, but beneath the glass are hundreds of invisible wires that detect your taps and swipes. I would peel that off, but I have a device here. And really, a couple interesting notes on the building aspect of all of our devices. Whenever a child gets their hands on it or a teacher hands the box to the kids, there's a couple interactions, social interactions that happen there. One, the child says, wait, hold on, you trust me with this?
Yeah.
You think that I can do this? So there's an immediate sense of respect that they have with the teacher there instantly, which is pretty interesting. And then two, we want them to fully understand the device. And whenever they understand it and they build it themselves, they actually take care of the device. It is extremely rare for us to get a call from a teacher where they say, oh, the student dropped the device, the screen is broken. Or the student dropped the device, the clear back is broken. It's extremely rare. They really take care of the devices because they view it as their device. They built it. It's part of like their ownership, if you will. So let me get this out of the way for you.
And that cover itself looks very familiar to like what a Surface cover would look like.
Yeah, so that speaks a little bit to our Microsoft partnership. So let me just show you here. So this is the cover.
Yeah. And it's actually pretty similar to what a Surface cover would be.
You can actually see here the pins are very similar. Yeah. We have worked extremely closely in partnership with Microsoft on this product. Any test that the Surface devices pass, this device has also passed, whether that's drop testing, whether that's battery life, whatever it is, this device was required to pass per Microsoft to come off the manufacturing floor. Something else to note also is that the keyboard itself is also the case.
All right, real quick, before you go on, we are going to be pushing out a poll question here real quick.
Sure.
Again, feel free, answer it. Again, your feedback is invaluable to what we do here. What's next?
Awesome. So this device, before I go into the software and everything, I just wanted to talk about the target market for this device. So historically, we've been 6 to 10, 11 years old with our old products because they only fit in that STEM classroom. They're a little bit more restricted. However, with this device, because it's running full Windows 10, we are seeing that age range push to 14, 15. So the target market is 6 to 14, 15 years old. And when we're talking about where this fits in with the classroom, I view this as a device that starts in the STEM classroom because you build it in the STEM classroom. You can learn to code. We're going to go into that here in a second. All the aspects that a STEM classroom needs, and also with third-party products such as Sphero, it can work with this because it's running full Windows 10. However, this is that first device running Windows 10, so it can go outside of the STEM classroom as well. So we're seeing that age group push. So this can start in the STEM classroom and then be that one-to-one device for that student as well.
Cool.
I wanted to go a little bit into software kind of demo for you. I will try to see without my glasses here. Yep. Actually, I'm going to turn this on because we're going to go to a product shop for y'all.
Yep.
I'm going to turn this so I can see it. There we go. Y'all should be good on the stream. Perfect. So as you can see here, once you power it up, and let me actually show you the back a little bit too, just real quick. So you can see here, it's kind of hard to see in the stream, but once you power it up, all the lights turn on. Whenever you plug in the speaker, it lights up blue. If you plug in headphones, it lights up blue. The battery is red, it lights up red. The power button is red, it lights up red. The power brick is red. Everything is color coordinated so that student can follow along and understand what's happening with their device. All right, I think we're good. So in terms of software, again, as you can see here, it's a full Windows 10 device. Live tiles, the typical Windows 10 desktop. I wanted to focus a little bit on the Kano suite of apps, though. So it comes preloaded with 3 Kano apps. The 3 apps are Kano Code, Make Art, and How Computers Work. So Kano Code is block-based coding, similar to Scratch, Blockly. Educators are very familiar with this type of coding, but block-based coding with challenges that get progressively harder. I'm going to open up that here, and you can see the intro screen right here. I'm not going to go too far into the challenges for this demo, but it has challenge packs. You can come in here, and you can. It gets progressively harder. It has almost built-in curriculum and lesson plans that kind of walks the students through, hey, pull this block over here, and this is why you're doing it. And then it slowly kind of pulls back those tooltips to help. Cool. All right. Now, our next suite, again, that was Kano Code, and that's block code. Okay. Our next app is Make Art, and Make Art is going to be text-based coding. Okay. So it's very similar to block-based coding, where everything slots in color coordinated. However, text-based coding is different to where it's free-form text. It's not dragging out blocks, but everything is still color-coded so that students can kind of make those links together.
Where the heck was this when I was learning coding back in...
Same here. Same here.
Late 90s, early 2000s.
It's a lot easier, that's for sure. And then we have our third app that I wanted to focus on here. It's very important to Kano. We hold this dear. So we are so passionate about hardware at Kano that we did not want the hardware education to stop at turning it on. So what we did, I'm going to take my glasses off here in case there's a glare, is we built an app called How Computers Work. So once you turn on the device, there's more hardware education through software. So we're teaching hardware through software. So in this app, How Computers Work, you come in here and you learn about things such as binary, processors, flash storage, memory, whatever that is. We have 8 modules in here to teach students about how computers work. So I come in here into processor, and then as the student scrolls through, again, very visually, narratively, storyline driven, teaches them what does the processor do. On the back of the device, they can see the heatsink. They can see where it says processor underneath the heatsink and where it is. They don't know what the processor is actually doing. So we wanted to teach them what that processor is doing for the computer. And similar for binary, flash storage, networking, all that's in here. Okay. Now that is the suite of Kano apps. So again, that's Kano Code, which is block-based coding, Make Art, which is type-based coding, and How Computers Work, which teaches computer hardware through software.
And these are pre-installed on the device.
That is pre-installed. It comes on the device. Correct. Correct. And then one more thing I wanted to talk about before I kick it over to Shaun was a couple of peripheral SKUs. So the MSRP on this device is $299.99. That's the MSRP that we set. Obviously, up to distributions, resellers' prices change, but that is the price on our website if you were to buy it direct as a parent. Okay. However, we do offer a few peripheral SKUs. So we have curriculum, we have professional development, and then we have this really killer differentiator for our product called Kano PC Fix Packs. So I'm going to start with curriculum. We're all fairly familiar with curriculum. You can see the curriculum booklet here. This is, as you can see, or maybe not, it might be too small. This is the preview pack. So this is a preview pack that anyone can download from our website. If you go to kano.me/education, you can click on resources, and there's a button to download this PDF. Okay, this is for lesson plans, worksheets, activities, and answer sheets. Okay, so you can get a taste before you purchase the product. However, whenever the school district purchases the device,
there you go. Stuck the landing.
Yeah, definitely. For every 10 devices that they purchase, they are going to get a sample pack. So again, this is preview, which is 4. The sample pack is 8 lesson plans, worksheets, and answer sheets, okay? That's 8. The full curriculum pack is 40, so it's 10 times this. It's over 500 pages. And it's really something that once you get into it, I encourage y'all to go to kano.me/education, click on resources and take a look. It's something a little bit different than what we've seen out in the market. I know a lot of companies say that, but the way we speak to teachers, which teachers we call our heroes, is a little bit different in our curriculum and our professional development. So feel free to take a peek at that. Next up is our professional development. So we have created, or in the middle of creating, a series of professional development videos. We had professional development if you worked with Kano previously for our older products.
Okay.
However, those are older videos. Those are still available. Those are free for our older products. We are creating a brand new 30-part video series, which is self-paced online for the teacher, that can kind of walk them through not only what is the Kano brand, but how to integrate Kano specifically into your classroom, how to integrate computer science, how to integrate technology. But it kind of peels back those layers to also not even talking about technology or computer science, how to integrate design thinking into your classroom. The curriculum itself, the first lesson plan right out of the gate is a paper tower design challenge. You're not even touching technology.
Nice.
So we just want those students to understand and think about how to solve problems and go about that. So that's the professional development, which is a separate SKU as well. And then we have this incredible differentiation opportunity, and that is Kano PC Fix Packs. As you have seen on here, since the computer itself is modular, if the battery dies, you can replace it easily. So what happens here is most schools, whenever a battery dies, which all batteries die, so eventually it's going to pass over, they either send the device off for 3 to 4 weeks to get it repaired and wait to get it back. And a lot of times the student doesn't have a device during that entire time. So, or in most cases, they throw the device away and just buy a whole new one, which is not fantastic for budgets,
wasteful,
for recyclability, for sustainability, all that. So whenever the school purchases the devices, say they purchase 20, 50, 100 devices, they can also purchase alongside it Kano PC Fix Packs. Okay. So a Kano PC Fix Pack, it comes with 2 batteries, it comes with 2 charging brick and cables, it comes with a replacement speaker, a replacement case back, and a replacement keyboard as well. The only part it does not come with is the screen and PCB itself, because obviously at that point, might as well just buy a new computer. That's the main cost.
You can pretty much fix anything other than the screen.
Exactly. It would skyrocket the cost.
Right.
So that's Kano PC Fix Pack. And for us, that is huge. What we've been hearing from D&H here, resellers and teachers, if we're talking about competition out there in the market, being able to fix the computer in 30 seconds and get it back up and running for that student is invaluable.
And not only that, you're also having the student service that device too, which builds that connection with the device and the student even more. Hey, the battery's dead. Here's the new battery. Go ahead and do the installation yourself.
Yeah.
That's invaluable in terms of giving that student confidence that he can service these devices as well.
I'm glad you mentioned that actually, because in the curriculum, we actually have lesson plans and worksheets for the student. If the battery dies or if the speaker dies, why did it die?
Didn't even know that. Didn't even know that.
Connection. So yeah, it comes in here and it says, hey, what is battery degradation? Why did your battery die? That way, again, they're learning what's going on with that computer. They're not just learning code and software, but they're learning hardware as well. Yeah. From there, I think we're ready to pass it over to Shaun. Did you have anything to kick it over to him?
We're going to throw out one more poll question real quick. Again, if you go ahead and answer that poll question, get a little bit more information. Again, feedback always valuable. But with that, yeah, Shaun, I think you're going to tell us a little bit more on the Windows 10 side, what power Windows 10 is bringing to the classroom, right?
Yep. Awesome. You guys can hear me okay, correct?
Yep. You're good to go.
All right. All right, awesome. Thanks. My name is Shaun Struzek. I'm on the U.S. education team for Microsoft. Super excited to be with this partnership with Kano. I couldn't be happier with the way that the device came out. The software package that they're putting onto it is amazing. It really shows the forward thinking of computer science in the classroom and just how important it really is for our students as they get out of high school, move into higher education, and get a job in today's market and in what it's going to be like in the next 10 years. So this is an absolutely fabulous device. We all love it at Microsoft, and we're super excited for it. Really no accident that Kano chose a Windows 10 as their operating system for the PC. I mean, you can really see, how much more you can do with a device, whether it's, building it, loading applications onto it, utilizing it with and without Wi-Fi. And that's, really the power of Windows 10, because you are able to download software packages to it. One of those obviously being Office. You can download Office Pro Plus onto the device, run the full suite of Office with with no problems on a Windows 10 device, because again, that's what it's really designed to run on. So optimized on that Windows 10 PC. What I want to actually show today is a couple of demos of some of the really innovative things that Microsoft's working on for the classroom. One of them would be our Immersive Reader, and I'm going to go ahead and click over to the screen share so I can launch that Immersive Reader. And then we'll go into and talk about Teams a little bit in depth.
All right.
I'm clicking over. Let me know when you can see my screen.
All right, no problem.
Sound good?
Don't know if we're there yet. There we go. I think we're getting there. See it black. There we go. Now we got you.
Awesome. So yes, we created what's called the Immersive Reader as part of our learning tools that's built in just about every product that we've got in Office. It's actually in the Edge browser as well. But what I wanted to showcase a little bit is some of the challenges that students are dealing with in the classroom. Teachers are how they're trying to reach out to all students and help address all the needs of the students. But in reality, in today's size of classes, it just doesn't, teachers just don't have enough time. And what we want to do is we want to try to create products that are going to specifically help teachers save time, students be more productive, and really empower them in the classroom. And one of those tools, like I said, is the Immersive Reader. So what I did is two examples, actually. One is the first one. I actually took a picture using Office Lens from a magazine and imported it into my OneNote. And another example is I actually just took some text and pasted into this into OneNote. This is a OneNote app, and up here, up at the top, you're going to see View, and you're going to see Immersive Reader. I'm going to go ahead and launch this Immersive Reader. So think about the type of students that would use this, or really anybody can use this. It's a great, every person out there. But we wanted to address the needs of a lot of students that have some kind of a learning disability, whether it's dyslexia, dysgraphia, ADHD, English as a second language. This platform can help with. But what you see in front of you is basically the Immersive Reader took that text and it digitized it. Now I'm actually able to manipulate it, because I'm a student in a class, and seeing all these words bunched up together, real close knit. I'm just it's either one, it's causing me some anxiety, or two, I just can't see the words real well. So up at the top right here, I can actually now go ahead and manipulate this text by creating the text preferences. So I can actually change the text size, right? So now I'm working on my PC. I actually need to zoom it in so I can see a little better. I can increase the line spacing. I can also change the font. One of the really impactful things is changing the background color. So for me, I really like a dark background with a white letter. It's easy on my eyes. I can actually see the words, see the text. But students with dyslexia, a couple of these other colors actually allow them to see the words better. So again, very impactful for those students. Another great feature on here is think about students that are merging into reading. I can actually push this play button, and it will play it back to me with an audio, and it follows along the words. So now I can train my eyes as I'm starting to read, where my eyes should go, how to follow along, and I'm hearing it audioly coming from the speakers on the computer. I can slow it down, I can speed it up, and change the voice as well. Another great thing is we can actually manipulate the grammar a little bit. I'm actually going to turn this back to dark. I'm going to shrink down the size, and I'm going to go ahead and break all those words up into syllables. So again, thinking about learning how to read or English as a second language, really being able to look at and break these into different syllables. Also, I'm able to highlight nouns, verbs, adjectives, adverbs, which is really, again, great when you're teaching English or teaching English as a second language. Another really awesome thing is that now I can actually take this text and translate it. So I'm going to go and translate the whole document. And just as before, I'm able to play out the audio. It will play it in Spanish. I can go back and forth between the original English version or the Spanish version. And again, there's a ton of different languages that this can work through. And then I can highlight the word, and it will give me, if it's a noun, it'll give me a nice little picture. I can play the audio of either the Spanish or the English version. So this really helps, again, those students that are either struggling with English as a second language. It can be used in foreign language classes. Really, the use cases are endless. And thinking about too is that taking homework back home, or taking school announcements or something like that, where English may not be the native language of the parents or guardians at home for these kids, and they want to help their kids with their homework, or really know what's going on in school. The parents or guardians can manipulate the text. What can be a handout or whatever, as long as you can get it into OneNote or Word or PowerPoint, you're able to actually change and manipulate the data so you can actually see it better. So super impactful tool. It's really helping students increase their reading levels in the classroom, taking students out of special education, moving back into the mainstream classroom, because they're able to read, follow along, and work the way that they want to. Really empower them to help them, because they know teachers' time is so limited and it can't get to everybody. But this, again, gives the power to the student in the classroom. Another really awesome tool that has come out, and I think a lot of people have either heard about it or seeing it, is Microsoft Teams. Teams is one of the most popular programs platforms in Microsoft history. It's used over 500,000 organizations worldwide. 91 of the Fortune 100 companies are utilizing it. It's available in 53 different languages, and about 233 customers have 10,000 or more active users. So what this means is that Teams is going to be a powerhouse app that is going to be used in the business world. So what we are encouraging is to have be educating teachers and students on the power of Teams and what it actually is, and utilizing it in the classroom, because more than likely they're going to be utilizing it outside the classroom. Another innovative thing too is we actually have a education version of Teams. So it's not the business application one, but it's more of an education focus. And I'm going to go ahead and show this to you, a little bit of a demo that you can do online as well. Send to your end user customers, look at it as you want, and it's msteams.demo.azurewebsites.net, and we'll share the link a little bit later. Teams is just really that.
But we'll make sure it's there. We'll get it there.
Awesome. Yep, and Teams is really an invaluable tool for distance learning. Teams can be used from just about any device with an internet connection and allow for seamless chat and video features. The other great thing is that schools can begin to utilize Teams for free today. So Office 365 A1 is a free online version for all education customers, so students and teachers, and Teams is built in there so that you can immediately go ahead and start using Teams online. Now, obviously, in light of current events, please talk to your customers about utilizing Teams today as a strategy to begin some of this distance learning. Now, let's take a look at what Teams has for EDU. This demo, again, is showcasing is online. You can take a look at it yourself. You can walk your clients through it. And I'm going to touch on a few of the features. I'm not going to go into everything because it's a little bit of a long demo. But again, feel free to go to the site, launch the demo, share with your customers, share internally, and take a look at it. So I'm going to click down the bottom here. Let's get started. So Microsoft Teams in general is kind of that single hub for the classroom. It's really meant for teachers and students to be in it and utilize it every day in their classroom experience. Off to the left side here, you're going to see some toggles right here where you're looking at activity, chat features, your individual teams, meetings, files, assignments, and a number of other apps that you can add on here. But this is a nice little click through demo, so I'm going to go and click next. Now to add a team, I can go ahead and click on the bottom here and click add team. Once I do that, I get 4 different options. I can create a classes teams, a PLC, staff members, and anyone. So this is where the kind of the education variation comes into play for this Teams demo, because it is, again, more specific for education. Clicking on class now, schools can also use what's called School Data Sync. It's a free application from Microsoft to connect their students' information system. So once you do that, these teams are created automatically, and the students are brought into those teams without any heavy lifting from the teacher, and it's ready to go. Once you're into Teams, the teachers can create different discussion channels, right? Whether around topics they're studying, if it's just in general, or even project-based groups. Class conversations are persistent, meaning it's always ongoing, it's searchable, students can engage, very social media-like, so they can like things, they post pictures, trying to make it fun in learning and communicating in the classroom. The other great feature I love about the chat feature is, again, a lot of students are hesitant in class to ask that question, raise their hand and ask that question. Well, they can do it, again, privately with the teachers, they can do it interactive and collaborative with other students, but again, it gives that voice to that student to be able to ask those questions, to consume the information that the teacher's passing out and give some feedback, and allows teachers to give individual feedback as well on a digital platform. Again, like I said, the students can provide text, links, files, stickers, and fun emojis. And the teachers can control this as well, right? So it fosters a very safe and collaborative environment. Up at the top pane, once you're in your teams, up top pane, you're going to see conversations. You can bring in class notebooks that have previously been created. You're able to push out assignments, obviously bringing in the Office products like Excel, Flipgrid, and a number of other ISVs that schools are working with, like Power Schools and Schooler, are starting to integrate into Teams as well to, again, make it that single pane of glass, so teachers and students aren't having to go in and out of applications and find where the applications are and where they sit and where they live and flipping all that. All it is in one nice central place. Now, once you complete this, I'm not going to go into the next step, but once you go ahead and complete this, you can now it becomes a little bit more interactive, where you are actually clicking on different parts of the OneNote and seeing what's available and to do. So again, this is a great demo. Fun, interactive. Please send it out to your, internalize it, send it out to your customers, and see and showcase it all. Like I said, if schools are starting to struggle with and trying to figure out some distance learning options in the next coming months, again, Office 365 A1 is free online. Teams is a part of that. They can go ahead and start utilizing Team, and then please reach out to D&H, as there are other options, obviously moving into the Microsoft 365 offerings, whether it's M365 A3 or Microsoft 365 A5, adding more and more EMS features and security features. Again, it works wonderfully with this with the Kano PC, and moving on up to the A5 solution, which again is just a little bit more security and data protection options and operations. But again, super happy with the partnership with Kano. Look forward to any discussions and opportunities around Microsoft and education solutions. Back to you guys.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for that great demo, Shaun. I'm a little jealous of the Immersive Reader feature you showed off, because I can speak for myself. I was a student that suffered with dyslexia, still do in my adult life. I've developed tools throughout my life to manage that, but to be able to have a system just in place to help students at an earlier age develop the tools they need to overcome those kind of disabilities is, again, wish I had it back in the day. I don't want to seem like I'm that old either. I'm in my mid-30s, but I wish it was there when we had it back in the day.
Yeah, I know during our sessions earlier here at D&H, the one thing that every single time got a wow or a whoa was Immersive Reader and all the features there.
That's amazing. So it's really quick. You did. Go ahead, Shaun.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's just really awesome, again, to be a part of Microsoft and seeing all the things that they're putting in, really around an accessibility standpoint, right? Because we want to make sure that every student is being able to utilize technology, being able to learn in the classroom, has a voice, is able to collaborate and interact, from any level. And that's a really proud to be a part of Microsoft that's developing those tools for the classroom.
Awesome. A little bit ago, you did touch on the MSRP.
Yeah.
Is there any deal registration for the Kano products?
Our
resellers.
Yeah, sure. So taking this back over from Shaun, I just wanted to stress also our partnership with Microsoft has been truly incredible. They've given us so much that we never even thought we could ask for or came into this looking for. So thank you, Microsoft. I mean, really, Windows 10 we chose because the powerful platform and the extensibility of it. Yep. And then also the offline capabilities of it. not everything is locked to web browser. So Windows 10 kind of fit in with what we needed. But yeah, I did touch on the MSRP earlier. So again, MSRP is $299.99, so just under $300 US. We do offer deal reg, or deal registration. So any opportunities of 50 Kano PCs or more, you can go into the link. I actually have, I believe we're going to have it in the resources. We'll get that out to you for sure. But there is a deal reg URL that you can go to register your deal for any opportunity 50 Kano PCs or more. There's a 5% extra reseller margin built into there.
Cool. We're going to be answering a couple questions here. Again, if you guys have any questions that you would like to ask, please feel free, ask them now. We'll go through them. First question from Jim was, can the Kano PCs run a USB DVD drive?
Yes. Yes, it can. It does have two USB, we'll go on this camera here. So it does have two USB 3.0 ports over here. So it can run a DVD drive just like a Surface device, just like...
So no limitations, like if you wanted to put a webcam on this thing. I don't know if it's got a camera on the front, but things of that nature. There's no limitations on the USB peripherals it can use.
Correct, correct.
Next question was more specifically to the specs. Eric wanted to know how much RAM, what's the size of the SSD that's inside the...
Sure, yeah. So this is, again, Windows 10 with 4 gigs of RAM, 64 gigabytes of on-device SSD storage. However, the wonderful thing about this device is that it does have that built-in micro SD card slot here. So the school can just pop in a micro SD card slot in a couple seconds if they need to expand that storage.
All right. You said these devices are running Windows 10. What version of Windows 10 is it running? Is it a stripped-down version? Tell us a little bit more about the actual version of Windows 10 that's on there.
Sure. So this comes with Windows 10 Home. We are working with Shaun and through the A1, A3, A5 to upgrade to Pro, and then also working on getting future devices coming out of manufacturing in Pro.
In Pro, awesome. I don't know if there's anything else. We don't have any. Actually, we do have one more question. Can these? You talked about the specs. Can they be upgraded? Can you add additional RAM, add additional storage past the SD card slot?
So past the SD card slot, obviously you also have USB, so you can have external hard drives if needed. However, the RAM and the CPU and everything, that's essentially built in. It's underneath the heatsink. We do not, from a manufacturing standpoint, we don't recommend touching that.
All right. All right. With that, I think we've answered pretty much everyone's questions. Is there anything you'd like to add before we sign off here?
No, thank you so much, and thank you, Microsoft, for being an incredible partner. Shaun, you're kind of the backbone of
Shaun,
that,
you wanna jump in here real quick?
Oh, I thanks so much, guys. This was absolutely fun. I really appreciate it. Again, we could spend hours and days on all the really cool stuff that's coming out from Microsoft from an education standpoint. But again, really excited with the Kano PC. So many opportunities out there are coming from school districts, whether it's STEM or STEAM grants, or just utilizing the device as an everyday device in the classroom. And again, that showcases to the power of Windows 10. You can do so much more with the device. It's just not a browser. It's again, full-fledged Windows 10 PC. So everything's going to work with it. Peripherals work with it. Download capabilities of applications, obviously internal storage, linking to OneDrive. It's a great device. Super happy.
Awesome. Did see a couple of questions that jumped in here real quick. I want to get to them real fast before we sign off.
Sure.
Does it have wireless built in? Wireless network? Yeah, Wi-Fi.
Yep. Wi-Fi and Bluetooth built in.
Awesome. And Dana was asking if we had a link to the free education version of O365. We'll get that link out to you if you'd like it.
Yep.
If you are viewing this on demand and you would like that link, it's probably going to be in the resources already. If not, email us, solutionslab@dnh.com. We'll be happy to send you that link as well. But with that, we're going to start signing off here. There are resources for this webcast. Again, on the resources tab, we'll be updating those with the ones that you guys were looking for. There's also a partner services template that DNH has created for the Kano products. We highly recommend you go over to partner resources, take a look at that. It might be able to help you when you're calling out to your resellers as well. This will be available on demand in about the next 24 hours on dnh.com/DHTV. If you have any additional questions, you can contact us at K12services@dnh.com or device specialist@dnh.com. Our next broadcast is actually going to be this Thursday. Is going to be taking control of your devices with Airtame Cloud. Some guy named Chris Phillips is going to be hosting it. He's really great, and I think you should turn in because he's gonna have a great presentation for you. And then next Thursday on the 19th, Matt Allison will be back with what's new with DNH Cloud. We'll be taking a look at all the new and exciting things going on in our cloud platform. But with that, Logan, thank you so much for joining us. Shaun, thank you for joining us on the line. And thank you all of you guys for joining us, and we'll see you next time.